All right. Good morning. It's Cowboy 8:31 EST. Hope you had a good weekend. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on today. We'll take a look at the market. We'll take a look at the events of this week. And let's see what we have going on. Let me go ahead and get this chart ready and we'll jump right in. We'll start by taking a look at Bitcoin, as that's probably what everybody wants to see and talk about. So let me just zoom in real quick and then we'll share the screen. And here we are. Okay. Let me zoom in on that. Let's do a little screen manipulation. Yeah, so Bitcoin hanging out above the prior consolidation here. So let's see if Bitcoin is just building a new floor, building a possible floor here. Remember, we are in that kind of period before the halving. We're in that sort of 1 month prior to halving time when we could be seeing the pullbacks. And of course, on Friday's show, we did talk about how deep those pullbacks could go. But what we'll do is run over to the Kingfisher really quick and see if we can take a look at the liquidity. Okay, so if you're new here, kingfisher.io is a great website. There's a link to it in the description over on YouTube and Rumble. And this site can give you a legit, real look at where liquidity is on the leveraged exchanges. And so these are where people's liquidations are, which generally is where price is going to go, right? If you know anything about leveraged markets, you would know that price tends to go towards where everybody's liquidations are. And so if you don't know what that means, don't worry about that. We're not going to go too deep into how that works, but just know where this spike is right here. That's where price will likely go. However, in order for price to get there, the charts have to favor a move in that direction. So this liquidity to the upside, for example, it's sitting at 69,330. So we can put a line there. In fact, it'll be more of a zone. It's more kind of like, say, 69,330 to 69,750. So 69,330 to 69,750. We'll zoom in here. And then we'll just mark this out. And that's pretty close to where the price is. So but we're looking at a high time frame now. So that does make a difference. It is usable information. And we just have this block right here to right about here. Now, where that block is, that will code with a yellow border. Price is likely to go and touch that if the charts favor a move up. Right now, we're on a daily chart. So as I mark these out, we're going to go to a lower time frame, and we're going to see what that looks like if we perhaps were to see a move go in that direction, or if we wanted to trade that. But there's another block sitting from 67.3 to 67.7. Okay, so let's put a block there. 67.7 to 67.3-ish. Okay. Obviously, price has already gone down and hit that, but we have those two. Now, there are several blocks below that, right? There is a strong bit here at 55,100 and at, let's see here, 55.1. We'll just keep it at 55 to keep it simple. And then there's a block sitting between 49.6 and 48.8. So 49.6 and 48.8. That's pretty far down low. Not to say that price won't go there, but that's pretty far down there. I don't think price would go there, but we might as well mark it out because price may. Price could do anything. What do we say? 49.6 to 49 to 48.8. Okay. We always want to mark these things out because now, first of all, the liquidity profile can change, right? can change. It changes all the time. It will change. It is actually a living metric. So let's put this at 55,000 here. One more block at 55. 55. So just put a nice kind of thin block right about here. As price moves, it's going to knock out these liquidity, right? And on top of that, people are going to put on more trades. People are going to take off other trades. So this profile that I've mapped out here, that will change. It will absolutely change. It's just changed from when I did this a minute ago. It changed, right? Technically, it's always changing. But some of these liquidity nodes will stick. And the ones that stick are the ones that are persistent, right? And when you look at the charts, another like kind of assumable liquidity is going to be here. We're going to mark this not yellow because this is just based on price action, right? But there is also going to be liquidity wherever price consolidated prior to now. So we'll mark these out as well as areas where price, excuse me. Sorry about that. Hold on a second. Where price will most likely roll down to. Very, very likely, right? So now that we have this map of where price could go with Bitcoin, remember, like I said, we're at that kind of month before a halving, right? And price could dip down a bit. And the historically before a halving, it's not a strong history, but it is a history. There is a probability of a 20 to 30% drop in price prior to the halving. And that's 20% right there. And that's 30% right here. So all of these, even this lower one, which is a pretty decent, 51 is a very strong, like if you look at the liquidity map here, you see how high this sticks up, right? Or at 55, not 51. 55 is strong, but so is this lower one. There's a lot there. It's broader. I could kind of maybe do the math on it, but I would venture to say that these are probably similar strength. But again, the charts have to favor a move down. So where are we with that, right? I'm going to delete these just because this was to measure, just to see if this kind of fits the usual pullback prior to the halving, right? And then, of course, how this pulls back, if and how, is going to also determine how the altcoins do, right? That's always the case. Let's take a quick look at the comments. Haven't done that. We got Mab Vet, the Faithful. March, always good to have you. We do want to pay attention to the algos, right? So let me just take a quick snap look at that. There's going to be a lot of data on the screen right now. Don't let it confuse you. I don't use all of this data necessarily. This is just, I use a portion of that. I'm just testing a lot of indicators at all times to see if they fit into the algo. I can say that, yeah, that there just is a decent probability of price heading down, right, in the next several weeks. Now, how it heads down is going to have a lot to do with how the alts perform, because historically, and I've been through two different cycles, two different bear markets. I've been through the 2019 bear, and I've been through the 2021 bear, or 22, whatever, however you want to look at it. This is my third bull market, so I can tell you that very, very typically, if Bitcoin has a momentous rise, and it has, this has been freaking meteoric. That's insane. Going back to last year, you're talking about Bitcoin itself going to times 3, 24,000 to 75,000 ish, right? That's pretty remarkable. There's likely to be a pullback there, and those are healthy. You want a pullback. You do not want price to just go up and up and up and up and up. That is not healthy. The market needs to come back down and build a floor. Otherwise, whenever it does come back down, there's a good chance it will be a very strong move back down, and a lot of people will be caught out, and that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. The market is going to do whatever the market decides to do, and as traders, it is our job to want what the market wants, right? So whether or not it comes down, I mean, I know what I would like it to do, but that really doesn't matter. So let's take a look here. What I'm expecting right now is for price to range kind of where it is, and then just for now, it looks like it will head down and grab liquidity. And I'd say my most prime suspect is 55,000. That's a very good likelihood. However, what we have to remember, and look, as traders, I say this all the time, as traders, famous last words are maybe this time is different, right? So if you have, just in like data science, if you go back and you have 100 examples of something, like when I backtest, I look at 200 examples, right? And just a quick note here: the indicators are coming to market very soon. My indicators, my trading view indicators that V and I are going to be putting out there for for people to for a subscription. Those are coming out very soon, and I'm going to actually do I'm going to record back testing. I already back tested them, but I'm going to record the back testing so you actually can see it. And I don't know if I'm going to put it on this YouTube channel or a separate YouTube channel. I don't know. I have to talk to my YouTube consultant on whether or not, what the best move is for that, because sometimes diversified content can kind of, it's just, it's almost better to not spam your own YouTube channel. I don't know, whatever. Point is, that there will be live backtest. So I'm actually going to record myself. It's just boring ass grueling work, but it'll also be like, hey, here, you saw the backtest. If you want proof, here it is. I'm not just making up numbers. And the problem with backtesting using TradingView is that it's just not the TradingView's automatic backtester. It's not reliable. As much as I would like for those numbers on there to be true, because it's like telling me I'm like 95% hit rate and 3-to-1 risk to reward. I mean, that's just ridiculous, dude. That's like put all your money on it. It's just I'm not, I can't trust that. My numbers are stellar, but they're not that stellar. So I will be doing live back tests. But the point here is when I do a back test, there are 200 tests. And when there are 200 tests, Mishka, hey, what's up? Ah, nice. Glad to have you here. Actually, this is the first time that X has been able to comment on my live streams. That's awesome. So anyway, the point here is that with 200 backtests, you have a lot of data, and we've had 3 Bitcoin halvings, 4 really. The point here is that I only have 2 data points that are reliable for me to count on a 20 to 30% pullback. Now, the 2020 halving did have it had a pullback that fit the bill, right? But the problem is that was the COVID crash. So I don't find that data point to be very reliable. And in that case, we're left with this kind of 55,000 mark if we do see a pullback at all. And again, the charts have to favor that, which at the moment on a higher time frame, I would say they do. But I would expect price to range up and down in this area until it does pull back. And the less extreme that is, the slower that happens, the better altcoins, meme coins, and crap coins and all that stuff will do. So that's Bitcoin. If anybody has any chart request, go ahead and speak up. Since it's the beginning of the week, I am going to jump over to the calendar so we can make sure we avoid landmines, especially for trading Forex. So today being Moon Day, let's see, we got nothing from the US. If you're trading JPY, be very careful. The thing about JPY is that they don't say when they're going to say. They're, like with the US and pretty much every other country, like, yeah, we're going to talk about this at noon or whatever. But Bank of Japan just like, bam, you don't even know when it's going to hit. So I would not be touching JPY today. Canada, same thing. Actually, not same thing. Canada data, I don't worry so much about anything besides the US data. So the market, even Bitcoin, crypto, Forex, stocks, everything is going to slow down up until Wednesday 2 EST. Okay. So understand that the FOMC is going to happen. Powell's going to come out, talk about the new rate, if there is a new rate or not. And it will affect everything. If there is a rate cut, everything would probably go up pretty strongly. If there is, at least at first, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but if the rate pauses, I think that'll be strong for the market. If the rate is hiked, then it might be, believe it or not, things might go up a little bit, but they might not. It could crash the rate, or it might be that there's just uncertainty and money goes back into the market. But whatever happens, I don't trade that shit. Like, whenever there's a major announcement like FOMC, I don't touch the markets, not Bitcoin, not nothing. So just be real careful with that if you are going to trade. And then the rest of the week is just your typical announcements. Although Thursday, there's going to be some data for the US coming out, manufacturing PMI. So if you want to see this stuff, I'm not going to linger on it right now because I'm going to roll over to Ethereum. We also have Friday, Fed Chair Powell, aka Chow. Chow speaks. What's up, Mick? Good to have you on. Thanks for coming on in. So yeah, Chow speaks. and he will talk at 9 a.m. EST on Friday. So that could really move markets as well. That crypto is not excluded from that. Like, I have been monitoring how Bitcoin and crypto have been affected by these all of the major data that comes out from the Fed, and it's not that. It isn't like it is a Forex or stocks. Like, crypto is all actually relatively unaffected. That's because crypto's been so bullish, but now that we're in this other kind of possible retrace mode, that's a change. There's something different there. So if I had to just have a thesis for a pullback, if there were a pullback, I would say 55,000, and the slower it happens, the better alts will do. So like I said, if anybody has a coin they want to see, go ahead and shout out. I'm going to throw Ethereum up. If Ethereum is doing strong, Ethereum is tracking Bitcoin. All right. So as you can see, I had some targets where price could turn around. This 39 was a take profit, because I always take profit before the round numbers, like, so 4,000 was really kind of where everybody was looking, but I like to actually, the real number was up here at 4150, but I always front run. And when I front run, I stay below the round numbers, and 39.90 was the take profit. And obviously that was a well chosen target because price has gone down from there. And we can see that Ethereum's run was like straight up. So if we were to see a strong pullback, like, let's just say Bitcoin maybe capitulated a little bit, like, it ran straight down to 55, I would actually be looking down at 2730. I know that's like brutal. I know nobody wants to think about Ethereum headed down that way. But that's just it. Bitcoin could pull it down. Some other numbers though that are like realistic for that. We have the bottom of this wick, which is sitting at 32. And then we have the top right around 3,000. Those are some areas where price could easily head right now. And I like this 3,200, but what we're going to do is actually look at a Fibonacci retracement. So let's erase all this data. I like to do fresh charts every so often. And this is one big impulse, if you ask me. And you're here, so you're asking. There's a 2-year cycle, Mick says. Apparently the new 2-year cycle begins this week for the USD dollar. Interesting timing considering. Okay, Mick, are you looking at the Dixie for that? Let me know if you're looking at Dixie for that. V the Gorilla is in the house. What is up, sir?
Hey, big drip this Thursday, folks. Big drip. Probably the most important drip.
We don't want to hear about your health problems, bro.
No, it's not about my health problems. Look, yeah, do I have some issues? Yeah, who doesn't? Who's not transitioning right now, And as I'm transitioning, why are you laughing at me?
Because it's great. I'm sorry. I'm happy for you.
Thanks,
laughter
bro.
of joy. You're becoming a woman.
No, I'm being trans species.
Oh, what are you going to become?
Fully ape.
Fully ape. You should become a hedgehog. So Mishka wants to be your friend.
I'm not a hedgehog, man. That is not my spirit animal. I'm a silverback.
Oh yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, so that's the way it is, man.
I'm transitioning to full cowboy.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, well, I think I moved way out here. Moved out.
Are you like what's what I'm looking for? Are you fully like having the cowboy hat surgically permanently placed on your head?
Yeah, I will now become part Stetson. Like, actually, it's part of the transition. The species will be part Stetson.
Can we just change your name to Algo Stetson?
Yeah, Stetson Cowboy.
Stetson Cowboy is it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's too generic. We'll be Algo Stetson.
Stetson Cowboy.
So for those who might be new to the show here, we do have a decent amount of people watching. So every Thursday, most Thursdays, like either 3 times a month, 5 times a month, kind of depends on the month, but V the Gorilla comes in with a lot of data, and V does a lot of deals that are on the higher level, 7-8 figure deals. Sometimes, I don't know if you've done bigger than 8 figure. I don't want you to reveal too much here, but long story short, V deals with big people, and basically Mick in his comments too. I'm not even going to address that.
Oh, chips. Yeah, the chaps. He's got to have the chaps. Yeah. Right.
He's an asshole chaps, bro. No.
What's wrong with that? Let's not judge. If that's
okay.
what you're into. Yeehaw, Mick. Mixed, right?
Only V gets those photos, like no one else. Yes. What were we what were we talking about? Like, oh yeah, the drips. So V does large deals, gold and precious metals around the world. And so if they're, if you need like gold or crypto and it's in a larger amount and you are anywhere around the world, talk to V about it, even if it's physical gold. Point here, though, is that the information you get when you do deals that big is pretty strong information. And V, you've been in strategic metals for what, 20 years? Besides precious metals?
Yeah, I've been in strategic metals before I was into precious. I was in cobalt and vanadium and molybdenum before I got into precious metals. Yeah.
Yeah, so going back, a couple decades, V the Grill has been in international markets with metals specifically, all kinds. Long story short, we get a lot of data, and on Thursdays we have the drips, and the drips are when V comes in and talks to us about things that he cannot talk about elsewhere, not because it's legally privileged, but because it's just we just talk about it there, and then you might hear about it like a month later on Rogue News. So it's kind of one of those early in. Some people actually join Algo Factory just for that data. Like they don't care about trading or nothing. They just want to hear the Thursday drips. Last week's was fucking monumental. Excuse my language. So that was awesome. We're looking at Ethereum.
This week is going to be.
Is it gonna be bigger?
Yeah, man, it's pretty serious.
Bigger, longer, uncut.
Pretty serious. I'm announcing something that it's not potentially going to be, it is going to be a global trigger, and you're going to hear it first before anybody else even hears the news.
Are you coming out?
I told you I'm transitioning.
No, coming out though. I mean, you can transition, but are you going to come out? There's two different things, dude. You need to go to your like whatever class. What is that class? Gender studies class?
I don't go to gender studies. I go to species.
Special study.
Species studies.
You should become a hedgehog.
Species affirming.
Why
is it so difficult for you? Why are you laughing at me?
It's tears of joy, bro.
Thank you.
That's great. Mick, I want to get into this, Mick, on this Dixie 2-year cycle. Let's see if we can identify that. But first, let's take a look at Ethereum. So Thursdays, folks, going over to algofactory.tech, zap QR code, top right-hand corner if you want to get in on the data. I've been following V the Gorilla. I've been working with V, since 2017. I've been working with you in one way or another, and then following since before that. So V the Gorilla is, I've historically said 80% right 80% of the time, which is freaking amazing in finance. That's like God mode. But this recent year has been even better than that with the Bitcoin macro calls. Just stupid, and the freaking like whatever gold, Dow Jones, all the indexes. The V the Gorilla has been on point, and it's on point in a way that technical charters just can't match. And I'm a technical charter, so that says a lot. So yeah, come on over, and you'll hear about what the hell's really going on in the background. On Thursday, zap the QR code. Let's stop the commercial here. There is a lot of liquidity right here at 382, and it's already touched 382. So this would be like a 382 pullback. So if Ethereum continues up from this 382 pullback, then you're looking at a pretty strong trend, right? But the algos say, let's see, that was on the daily. I want to see what Ethereum looks like on the weekly. I think we might be, if not a pullback, then just due for a chill out. I'd say Ethereum either is going to pull back further or it might range. If it were to pull back further, the most likely candidate for that pullback price wise is going to be about 3,000. Yeah. Right here at this 618, there's a strong liquidity node right here. And if we go to the Kingfisher and we bust out Ethereum, and we fasten our seatbelt as it says, looks like it's taking a second to gather Z data. We'll come back. The other area, of course, is going to be down, and this is pretty far down. I don't think price will make it to 2,500, but if the reason it would make it to 2,500 is if Bitcoin's pull back before the halving, which may or may not happen, was incredibly strong. But there is a strong, look at that, strong liquidity node sitting right there at 3,000. So that's my prime suspect for a pullback. I know Marsh doesn't want to hear that, but hey, man, it is what it is. It just means you get to buy more Ethereum cheaper, March. So that's a strong possibility. And if anything, it probably would not be a straight line. I think you'd be like a range, maybe even a liquidity grab, and then down, or not, or just like this, or even just straight down. I mean, anything can happen, but 3,000 is like a pretty likely possibility. If not, it's already hit 3,400, and I think Bitcoin has a little pulling back to do. I don't know if you want to comment on that, V. If you have any Bitcoin macro we're going to share today, or we want to just move on.
What's BTC at right now? I know last I checked it was like 68. It popped a little bit. That was yesterday.
It's at 68.5 right now.
Okay, cool.
And I have a pullback to 55,000. That's a likelihood, or even as far as like 51,000. But again, it may not pull back at all. One thing that we've identified here, not just through, I did a show on this, and then the Gorilla came in and kind of sort of confirmed that the large players, your ETF buyers, just continue to buy.
Yep.
And there's a supply shock. So there's always that chance that if that's really going on, then this might not ever pull back. I mean, Bitcoin eventually will pull back, but I mean, in the near term, might not pull back. So I don't want to count on a strong pullback. I look at the charts. Charts tell me what's going on. So we're technical traders here at Algo Factory. And by the way, we are at the end of the show. So, Mick, I'm going to look at the Dixie 2-year cycle. I've never heard of this. Maybe you can walk us through it on the private show. And Mick, are you going to be in the private today? Oh, look, Yogi Greg asked for Solana. Yogi, if you want questions, if you want
Solana.
Charts, yeah, we'll look at Solana. Yogi, if you want your questions answered for that first half hour, you got to come on over to YouTube and watch and ask your questions in the comments over there. I might not see in the private group because Yogi asked in the private group, which is fine, but I might not see it till the private show, which we're about to go to right now. V, can you please?
Listen, guys, major intel is dropping on Thursday. You don't want to miss it. This is more important than the solar eclipse that they're talking about on April the 8th. This is major. This is going to be a big one. So don't miss it. The only way you're going to get it is around algofactory.tech. Join us. You not only learn how to trade, but you also learn how to build the algorithms that trade on your behalf 24/7. And on top of that, you'll soon be able to rent those algorithms to be traded on your behalf as well. You get the geostrategic, geoeconomic,
let's correct that. If you rent the algo, it won't trade for you. That's on the manual. We don't. There's liability issues. We don't want my algo touching people's exchanges, but we're going to rent out the indicators.
There you go. That's huge. You could rent out the indicators, which is a big one. And on top of that, you could also get the geopolitical, geostrategic, geoeconomic, where we are, where we're headed. All this combines equals no other trading group on God's green earth even comes close. It's that important. It's that awesome. And with that being said, Cowboy, let's get into the private room.
Join us or die.
Yes.
Private's already running. I just got to get us.